In this video, I'll be reviewing 3 of the latest, hottest apps that made it to the Canva marketplace. We'll be talking about finding copyright-free music for content creators, color shading to add depth to your designs, and AI voice generation, including voice cloning. So that's what's on the menu for episode 3 already of hot new Canva apps. Let's go. Hey, what's up everyone? Ronnie here. Welcome back to our channel. Today we continue our series where we discover the latest Canva apps. Not all the apps, because some of them are not that good, but the apps that I personally find impactful and that I believe you should try too. All right, so jam-packed episode, 3 apps to review. So without further ado, let's start with the first one. The first app that really caught my attention this week is called TuneTank. TuneTank is a music app for content creators. So let's head over the apps button. You know the drill by now. So apps and then search for TuneTank. Just search for TuneTank. This is what their app icon looks like. It's the yellow logo right here. So if I click on the 3 little dots right here, I can read a bit about the app's details. I like to do this to start. It says bring unique sound into your project. Get over 3,000 royalty-free curated background tracks across different genres, moods, and themes. Okay, that sounds good. So I can start this. If you haven't yet installed the app or connected the app, this button here, which is gray for me, will be purple for you. It will say connect. So click here and you should be good to go. From here, because I already have used TuneTank before, I can just click on the app logo to get started. So once you do, this is where you should land. So this looks like the audio tab in Canva with a bunch of different music or tracks. And these tracks are organized in 2 categories. Okay, so we have lo-fi, Halloween, epic, piano, ambient, etc., etc. A bunch of different tracks that I can see when I scroll down. All right, so let's go back up. There's a search box and you can obviously expand every one of these sections. So this is what I see here, a collection of music, collection of tracks. TuneTank's promise is that all of these tracks are copyright free and free for content creators to use for their content. Now, what makes TuneTank unique and different from other sound libraries, like for example, Epidemic Sound, which has partnered with Canva as well, is that all of the content, all of the music that you will find on TuneTank is exclusive. That's the first thing, meaning all of the tracks will not be found anywhere else. And second, TuneTank owns all of the rights to this music, which means you will not find yourself in the situation where you are using one of the artist's track on one of your video projects, and then this artist decides to stop collaborating, stop contributing to the TuneTank library, and therefore this content is no longer available in that library. And therefore, if you've used it before and it's on your YouTube channel, for example, then you might get a copyright claim once the artist stops collaborating with the platform. You will not find yourself in this situation because all of the music on TuneTank belongs to TuneTank forever. So that is the TuneTank promise to us content creators. 3,000 songs, copyright free, exclusive, and flexible licensing. So this all sounds very good, and I'm eager to start browsing this library and actually listen to some of the songs to see if they are really good. But before that, I need a video project. So what I can do is simply head over my design tab right here. I'm not going to create an entire design from scratch. I'm just going to be using this template right here, which is a video in vertical mode with a bunch of colorful photos, videos, a little bit of text. Okay, that sounds good. I'm going to add all of this 6 pages to my design. It comes with a track. Let's play it. Okay, so this is not a TuneTank track. This is just a track from the Canva library. I'm going to delete this track because my goal is to find a new one on TuneTank that will match the vibe of this video. Okay, so my video project is 25 seconds long. You can see that right here. It says 25 seconds. Let's head back over the TuneTank app. Okay, so first of all, I want to start showing you how it works, like how you can search TuneTank. From here, you can do a bunch of different things. You can play the song, so preview the song. So if you want to preview this one, for example, just press play. You'll start hearing the song, which is great. You can skip through. good. You can add the song to your design, which I'm not gonna do just yet because as a free TuneTank user, so what you will get by default in Canva, you can use 3 tracks per month. So 3 tracks is not that many, so I'm not going to waste these 3 tracks by clicking on any track. I want to keep my tracks for showing you how it works. But if you have found the perfect track and you want to add it to your design, just click on this add button and it will be added to your timeline. I'm going to demonstrate that in a minute once I found my track. There's something else I want to show you that is important about TuneTank. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the track list right here on the Canva app menu, you will see to manage your YouTube copyright claims, you can visit this URL right here. So there is a page on the TuneTank website where you can go if you download your video project. Let's say I download this entire video project, I upload that as a YouTube short, and then I receive from YouTube a copyright claim claiming that I'm using TuneTank's music. So this is nothing to worry about, because if that happens, or when that happens to you, you can simply visit this web page right here by clicking on the link right here. It will be copied to your clipboard, and then you can paste that link into your web browser to land on this page right here. So here you have some guidelines on how to remove, on how to clear any copyright claim that you might receive from any social media platform. So enjoy a free tool to remove copyright claims for any YouTube videos with our music. Okay, so what TuneTank cannot do is to avoid YouTube to claim that this music belongs to TuneTank, because TuneTank has actually registered all of these tracks so that YouTube knows they are theirs. Okay, so YouTube will think that you, when you upload your video with the TuneTank track, that you are using their track. All right, so this is how it will go. So when that happens, you come here, you paste the link to your video, and in 3 easy steps, you can clear that video from that copyright claim, meaning you will not lose any minutes, any days of monetization if you're monetizing your content. So that is important. I love that TuneTank actually have this link right here for anyone to easily access that tool. So yeah, this is how it works. Now that you know how it works, let's explore the library and find some cool music. As I told you, the content on TuneTank is organized in different ways. The first way they've organized their content is by themes. And by themes, I mean gaming, business, podcast, you know, like all sorts of themes that you could create videos for. So let's try one. Let's try podcast. Let's say you are searching for music for your podcast. Then you have a bunch of different tracks right here that should be relevant for podcast. Let's try one. Yeah, I can definitely see how this could be the beginning of my podcast. Let's try another one. Let's scroll down a bit. Cooking food, like that title. Yep. So this one as well, I can see how all of these tracks are pretty relevant for the theme podcast. So that is one way of searching, by theme. Another way you could search their track library is to search by mood. So when we are thinking mood, we are thinking keywords like happy or sad or enthusiastic or inspiring. So these kinds of keywords will generate the moods, all right? So let's search for something sad, for example. Let's try sad, see if they have any sad songs. There's one called Loneliness. This one must be sad. Let's try. Sad. Yeah, so this is sad, whether it's like broken faith, definitely sad. Hope, it's a little bit less sad, but still on the sad side. All right, so the mood thing works pretty well. So instead of sad, I could have searched for happy, or I don't know, like energetic or stuff like that. And you would get these tracks that correspond to the mood of your video, which I might use for my happy project right here, or inspiring project or creative project. And then the last way you can search the library is by genres. Okay, so genres will be rock or rap or funk, you know, any style, any genre of music. So let's try funk and hit enter. So funk on the groove, funky beats. Let's funk Walker. Let's try Walker. It's pretty funky. Let's try another one, movie funk. Yeah, so definitely some funky tracks right here. Spy Adventures. Okay, so from playing around and browsing the library for 2-3 minutes, I found some quality tracks right here, some stuff that I could definitely use for my project. So for this particular project, I could go for mood, something like happy, but happy I feel is kind of like a cliche that's been overused in music tracks. I would get a lot of ukulele stuff and guitar riffs that like I don't want to get into that cliche, so might not go down the mood path, but maybe the genre. Okay, so if I explore the different genres here, I got ambient, trap, maybe trap. A trap beat might be good for that. Let's see something that is trap and sounds like something hypey. Extreme drift, future, pure hype. Let's try this. Yep. This is good. Okay, I'm gonna use this track. Okay, so just simply click on add. So there you go, my track has been added to my Canva timeline. It's now right here. So I can go ahead and play it. All right, so I can see that the vibe of this track really matches my project right here. What I might do is to slightly delay the beginning, so I can click on the track and move the track left and right to really start it whenever I want. Okay, so that is an option. I can select whatever part of the track I want. So I'm going to start it slightly so, like that. And also I observed that I probably need to add some sort of animation to my photos because they look pretty static right here. So what I could probably do is to select all of my video project here, click on animate, and I could use the magic animate, which is a new feature. If I do this, Canva will analyze the project, suggest the best type of animation. Here it's bold, so let's go for that. And then boom, the entire work of animating my project is done. There you go. I have a nice looking video with a nice hypey track that I can use for social media. So there you go, my project is ready. I can download it from Canva and upload that to any social media platform. And if you get a copyright claim after uploading this piece of content on YouTube, you can always come back to TuneTank, that is their promise, and scroll all the way down to find the copyright claim tool right here that they have. Copy this link, paste it in your browser. It will redirect you to their tool where you can, in 3 simple clicks, release your content from this claim. All right, so that was TuneTank, the first app I wanted to show you today. My conclusion is that I think this is a really cool tool. I love that it's free. It's only 3 uses, 3 songs per month, but hey, that is already something. I love their tool. I think it's very useful for releasing these claims. It's pretty smart. So yeah, I encourage you to start browsing their track library. The only one thing I wish they could bring to the Canva app is their sound effects library as well. But hey, for now, this is already great, and I highly recommend you check it out. Now let's move on to the second app. The second app I would like to talk about today is called Shade. All right, so let's head over to the apps button and type in Shade like this. Okay, so the Shade app is this one right here. It says Shade and has 3 colors. So once you click on it, this is what you will see. It's a very simple app, very different from TuneTank, which required a lot of explanation. This one is very straightforward, and I would like to show you how it works. Discover the power of tone gradation. Gradation? I don't know if that's a word. Easily create shades that add depth and beauty to your design. All right, so let's come back to the app main interface right here. And what we can see here are 5 different colors plus your primary color. So the primary color, this one right here, is the color that we started with. Well, actually we didn't start anything, but you see this point right here and this hex code right here. So this is the hex code of the primary color. So what this app does is simply to generate fading color palette of the different tones based on a primary color. So in order for it to work, we will need a primary color. So I could see 2 different ways of working with shade. The first way would be to simply start with one of your branded colors. Okay, so for that, I'm going to create a square by typing R on my keyboard. I'm going to make that slightly smaller. And I'm going to use one of my branded colors. Okay, I'm going to take this branded pink, the roundy pink right here. Okay, I have the color here. Now I can come back to shade and I would like to use that color. Okay, so for that, I kind of wished we had a color picker in the app so I could just use it, pick my pink here, and it would be kind of like recorded as my primary color. Unfortunately, I cannot do that. So what I need to do is to first grab the hex code of this pink right here. So in order to do it, simply click on the shape that carries the color, click on your plus button, and you should see the hex code right here. I'm gonna Command C that, come back to shade, and then paste that pink color right here instead of this purple color. So there you go. So now my primary color changed and the entire palette with the different shades of that pink also changed. So now I can start using all of this. I have this button that says add palette to the design. So if I do that, this is what it does. It generates my palette right here. Now I can get rid of this pink and I have all of the different shades of that primary color. So I have some lighter shades and I have some darker shades. So we have light, lighter, lightest, and then dark, darker. Okay, if I double click on it, I can copy the hex code of all of these different shapes. Kind of wished we could have this copy hex code functionality directly from here without the need to import it to the design. I guess the reason why you can add the palette to your design is for this exact purpose, that the app designer maybe didn't find a way to make these hex code here clickable or copyable from the menu in the app. But it doesn't really matter because I can grab them from here, so that's fine. So a couple of use cases for this shade app. Well, for example, let's say I add another page to my design. Let's zoom out a little bit and find a template, for example, this template right here. So let's say I want to use one of these slides, for example, this one with the nice graph right here. I can see there is this pattern in the background. Let's stretch it so it covers the entire slide. So now what I could do is to simply change the colors of this slide and, for instance, the entire slide deck, and use the different shades of my branded pink right here. So the way I would do that, I would just come to the template, click, for example, on this element. So it has kind of like a darker color. So I could use that and then find one of the darker colors of these pink variations. So that would be this one right here. If I use that, I can see how I can change that color. And then simply continue swapping the different colors. I could access the layers via the position button. For example, changing the background right here, which is a lighter shade of the pink. So I could go for this one, and etc, etc. So this is what the final result would look like, at least for this one slide. And every single color here has been used from this color palette generated with shade. So that is one way of using shade. You start with one of your branded colors, then you generate the shades, and then you use that to create a monochromatic kind of presentation or style for your project. Now let me show you another way of working with shade. This time I will start with an image. For this, I'm going to go to my uploads right here and find this nice broccoli character that I generated with DALL-E 3. So I have this broccoli character and I would like to create a nice looking background, kind of like a gradient with green colors, so that I can introduce this character to my audience. All right. So the way I would do that, I would need to extract one of the main colors from this character, one of the greens probably. And the way I would do that, I would pick one green that is kind of like in the middle of the spectrum. Not the darkest one, not the lightest one, but something in the middle. And I will still need an element to use that color, because if I go straight to shade, I still need to pick that color. And I don't have the color picker, so I need another way of doing it. So let's create another square right here. Make that smaller. Again, I'm going to come to my color button, use the plus sign, and use the color picker to find my green, my medium green. So maybe something here. All right, so that's not too bad. It's not too dark, not too light. Okay, so I'm gonna use that. I need to grab the hex code. So it's right here, Command C, and now I can come to shade and paste that right here. And now I have generated my entire color palette. I will add it to the design. It is right here. Now I have all of this. Now, what are we going to do with this? Well, we are going to create a gradient to be the background of my character right here. So let's do that. Let's go for a gradient that I'm going to use on the background of this page right here. To create a gradient, very easy. You start with a new color and then you make sure you are on the gradient tab right here, and then just simply enter your first color. So since we have the color picker, super easy, I can go for this green, move over the next square of color right here, color picker, and go for a darker shade of the green. Okay, so now you have a gradient. I can add a third color, which I'm going to do, and I'm going to change the middle color for the lightest one. Okay, so again, click like so. Now I have these 3 color gradients right here. Looks good. I still have the background on that broccoli right here, so maybe I edit my photo and I remove the background with the background remover. There you go, very quick. And there you go. We have a nice gradient background for my little broccoli character right here, generated thanks to shade. All right, now let me get rid of that so you can see that this looks pretty good. Okay, I can even tweak that gradient some more. You can always come back to your gradient. You see, if you hover over that gradient, you see a little like setting icon. So if you click here, you can add more colors or you can change the style of your gradient. You see, it could be linear like this, horizontal, vertical. Vertical is actually pretty nice. Radial could be also pretty cool, or radial but coming from another angle, I would say, of your design. I'm gonna go with this one, which is kind of nice and smooth, and keep that as my final design. So there you go, guys. This is Shade, a straightforward, simple app. Sometimes simple is good. You know, you don't need to do overly complicated. I think the app is pretty good. Could be better if we had 2 extra functionality. The first one would be a color picker. Color picker here would be amazing. Why can't we use a color picker to pick the primary color? That would be such a time saver. It's not there, unfortunately. And then the second tweak I would make to this app is the possibility to click on any of these hex code to copy it to your clipboard. And therefore you wouldn't have to import the palette into your design and then double click and copy the hex code from there. But apart from that, this is a good idea, something that was missing in Canva, generating shades of a primary color, and this app does it. So yeah, well done, guys. Hey guys, how are we doing? Are you finding any of these apps useful so far? Do you think this is something you could use to supercharge your Canva workflow? If you are, let me know in the comment section. There is one more app to go. This one is a really good app as well for generating AI voices. I just wanted to ask you if you are enjoying this tutorial, if you are enjoying this series of me reviewing the latest and hottest Canva apps, to leave us a like, subscribe to the channel if you are not yet part of the tribe, because this is what supports us as YouTubers. All right, so let's move on to the last app of this episode. This one is called AI Voice, and it's the best AI voice generator I have had to try so far. So don't you go anywhere, you need to see this one. All right, so AI Voice, let's start by installing or connecting the app. So apps button right here, and just then type AI Voice like so, AI Voice. So it is this app right here. So let's click on it. The very first time you use AI Voice, you will have to create an account with PlayHT, which is the company behind AI Voice and behind this tool. All right, so the app description says AI Voice by PlayHT, AI voice cloning and voiceovers for your project. A great voice will captivate your audience. PlayHT offers a great selection of voices to create ultra realistic AI voiceovers. You can also clone your own voice with just 10 seconds of audio recording. 10 seconds is very little for cloning your own voice. Simply type the text and PlayHT will convert it as a stunning voice performance that you can add to your Canva projects. All right, so this is very promising. Let's head back over the app, and I want to demo this and show you both of the things you can do with AI Voice. The first thing you can do is to use one of their voices. Okay, so this is the, I would say, less innovative part of the app, but still very interesting because the voices are pretty good. So the way it works is like this. You have these 2 tabs for the 2 different use cases. The first one is the one I started to explain, generate a voice. And then in the second part, and we will wrap up the tutorial with that, we'll create a clone of my voice, okay? So generate a voice, select a voice. So that's the first thing you need to do. You will have to select one of these voices. You see a bunch of different voices. As of today, so the date I am filming this tutorial, there's only English voices available for you to pick. But you will have American, so United States accents, you'll have Canadian, you'll have Australian English, and British English. So the four major types of English, I would say, spoken in the world. All right, so from here, from this drop-down menu, you can select all voices, popular voices, your start voices, because you can start any of these individual voices and it will be remembered and then categorized in this section, start, or you can use your cloned voices as well. But we haven't yet created any cloned voice, so there's nothing here for now. Okay, so I'm going to choose all voices, okay, and you see there's a bunch of different voices. What I noticed is that some of the voices have an attribute or style attached to them. For example, here you have Arthur, which would speak in an advertising style, then Arthur meditation, then Arthur narrative, then Arthur training. So 4 different styles for Arthur's voice. Let's actually listen to the difference between all of these different styles.
Trying to get an appointment to see your doctor. Download our app today to start booking all your appointments online in less than a minute.
Okay, that is indeed advertising kind of style. Now let's see the same guy in a meditation type of voice.
Maybe there are thoughts, or emotions coming.
Very different.
Just let everything be here. Now, I'm going to invite you.
Okay, so very different narrative, so that would be neutral.
There is one thing Voldemort cannot understand. It is love. He didn't realize that love as powerful as your mother's for you leaves its own...
Okay, so that's Arthur reading a Harry Potter book. And then we have training.
By now, you should have completed your sales readiness self-assessment. Join us in the first module for prospecting new business.
Okay, so far we've seen that we can use different styles, but I would like to try the different accents that are presented here. So I'm going to start with a voice from Australia, and I have bookmarked one, Ruby. So Ruby, female Australian. Let's try this.
If you're feeling good right now, or just even okay, it's a great time to take a mental snapshot of what's going on around you.
So that was Ruby that won't stop talking. Let's try William from the US. Sorry about that, guys. Okay.
Elon Musk is the Steve Jobs of the present and the future. In the midst of this rough conditions and
I'm starring William. So it seems like sometimes the play pause button is like faulty. What I'm gonna do is to simply refresh my browser here, coming back to the AI voice app and click on all. So let's just check some other things here going on with the start. So I have Ruby and William. Great. Another voice I wanted to show you now that we've tried Australian and American. I wanted to show you a British voice. Okay. So I'm back to my all voices. And I want to show you Chris from the UK. So Chris, everything is organized like alphabetically.
Dude, I remember, yeah, it's crazy when you look at a 10-year-old, it looks like they're doing nothing, kind of like they're dumb and their neck's getting longer. But then like you hear a story like that and you're like, yeah, they have this whole universe that's going on.
So Chris is like the perfect host for a geeky podcast, for example. And this voice really sounded natural. I'm gonna go ahead and work with Chris's voice for now. All right, so let's try generating Chris's voice for a custom text. So the way it would work, let me go to my start folder, select Chris, and then typing some text. What can Chris say? Oh boy. That was a crazy party yesterday. Do you remember how we even got there? Man, that was epic. Okay, so let's see that. Like I want to see the expressiveness on that AI generated voice. I'm gonna click on generate voice, and as a free user, as like anyone who wants to try AI voice on Canva, we'll have 12,500 characters to play around with. This sentence is about 100 characters, so it will take a little bit of my credits, but not too much. I feel like 12,500 characters is a large amount of characters to try this app. So they've been quite generous for once with our trial here that we get as Canva users. So let's see how this voice is generated. I'm going to speed up the video because it's taking a little bit of time, but I will tell you how long I've been waiting. All right, my voice is finally generated. I think the PlayHT servers have been really busy recently. I've had a couple of trial and errors to get there. I'm going to be completely transparent with you. And I received an error message also that their servers were very busy and that I should try again at a later time. So this one voice generation took quite a long time for me to get right, but it's finally here. So I want to show you the result. I'm going to add it to my design directly. Okay, so it's right here and I can either listen to it from the design. If I click on the duration button, it brings the play button, or from here directly. Let's click here in the app panel.
Oh boy, that was a crazy party yesterday. Do you remember how we even got there? Man, that was epic.
Yeah, I mean, that was worth the time waiting for this outcome because it sounds super natural. Like, let's play it again.
Oh boy, that was a crazy party yesterday. Do you remember how we even got there? Man, that was epic.
Yeah, this really convinces me. It really shows me how much better AI voice is over other AI voice generator I've tried in Canva, like AI Voov or even Murph AI. This one really blew my mind, like in terms of how natural the characters, the different presenters actually sound. So yeah, that was Chris's voice. It was a little bit tedious for me to get there and generate that text, but I think this is unusual circumstances that the servers are really busy today, and it's not always like that. Now, that was the first case I wanted to show you when you use one of their pre-recorded voice. The other use case I want to show you, and this is, in my opinion, the most powerful feature of AI voice, is that you can create a clone of your voice. So that is the second tab right here. I'm going to click it right now. So you can clone any voice instantly from 30 seconds only of audio, and you can use it to generate high quality speech. So the first thing you need to do is to give your voice a name. So let's call this one Ronnie. Then you upload a piece of audio containing your own voice, and I have pre-recorded that piece of audio, so I can just find it on my computer. It would be the one called correction right here. Doesn't seem to let me click on it. So because I know this works, because I tried it yesterday, I could see that the app is really buggy right now. And it is annoying me, but I want to show you the result of this because yesterday when it worked for me, it blew my mind. All right, so I want to try to show you anyways how this app works. And because it's busy right now, I'm gonna go with the plan B. Plan B would be to go directly to their website. So PlayHT right here. So I got here, and from here I can log in. I'm already logged in, so I can go to the studio and PlayHT would bring me to the studio. So from here, I can do the same thing as from the Canva interface. So I'm gonna click on voice cloning like so and create a new clone. And I will see that as a free user, I can clone one voice with only 30 seconds of audio. So I'm going to click on here, name my voice Ronnie. It's a male voice, drop a file here or browse. Let's hope this works this time from here. Correction, yeah, it lets me click on my file. Entonces, lo que voy a porque de unos error sobre estas. The first three ones will help you. Okay, so it's a mix of me talking Spanish and English because I'm talking to one of my video editors. And therefore, I think it's a good sample of my voice because it has these different nuances of me speaking in different languages. So I'm going to open that. It's uploading, which is a good sign. I need to accept the condition. I hereby confirm that I have all the necessary rights or consents to clone and use this voice. Okay, so you can see all of the terms of use. Make sure you use that on your own voice. Do not try to use anybody else's voice. That would not really be ethical. All right, I have this, everything is good. I can create my clone. So it's gonna create it, cloning request created successfully. Okay, so I have Ronnie, PlayHT 2.0, cloning completed, and there you go. I can start using this. So now what I wonder, if I come back to Canva and if I refresh everything here, I wonder if my voice, my cloned voice, is actually going to be shown under the clone. Yes, it's right here, Ronnie. So good. I just had this little problem of creating my clone directly from Canva, but now I can start using it from here. Hopefully it works. So I'm going to say something simple here. I'm going to be using the intro of this tutorial, of this entire video that I made. So I have all of my text here, and I'm going to paste it here directly. So it's about 306 characters, and it goes like this. In this video, I'll be reviewing 3 of the latest, hottest apps that have recently been added to Canva, etc., etc. Let's see if I can generate that with my own voice. And maybe I can go on holiday and that voice will continue creating tutorials for you guys. How wonderful would that be? All right, let's see. I'm gonna speed up the video because this might take a while. All right, so we ran into a wall again here with this same error message I already encountered before, that their servers are really busy. So what I want to do before giving up is to try generating this voice from the app itself. So I'm going to come back to the app right here. I have generated my voice and I want to use that. Okay, so I'm going to paste my same text here. There you go. It was broken down into different little sections here. So that's what we have. And I want to generate all of that. So you see, it naturally breaks them down in the studio into different sentences. And you can decide to generate these one by one by clicking on them and generate speech, or you can generate all. I'm going to try to generate them all and see what happens. We can see something going on here at least. Okay, so we can see here on the timeline that these 3 first sentences have been generated, and as it's generated, it moves to the next one. Okay, so I have all of the sentences being added to the timeline right here. And I found that the experience is much better from their website directly than from the app in Canva. So it's sad to say, but I would encourage you guys to sign up and just simply use their website, which is a much better experience in my opinion. So there you go. I think all of it is generated. I can play this whole thing here, I guess, by simply hitting my spacebar.
In this video, I will be reviewing 3 of the latest, hottest apps that have recently been added to Canva. So we'll be talking about copyright-free music for content creators, color shading, and voice generation, including voice cloning. So that's what's on the menu for episode 3 of Hot New Canva Apps.
Okay, so not convinced. It was very choppy from one sentence to the other. I'm not sure if I can actually cut some of this or tweak some of this from the studio directly. The editing section here is not very big or anything, so I don't know. I could probably regenerate. You can pick your preferred version. You can regenerate that. Each sample is unique. Click on regenerate to create multiple samples and select the one you prefer. All right, I'm not gonna do that now. I just wanted to show you that you can generate your voice. It will add some elements of randomness to it, which I think is a good thing, but also the tone, like the sound of the voice sounds like mine, but some of the pronunciation is not exactly like mine. But again, I have a very difficult voice to clone for an English-speaking voice generation tool because my accent is not either Australian, British, American, or Canadian. It's just like a French dude accent out of nowhere. So I would say this could be good. And when I look at the pricing options of this app, if I click on the upgrade button, what I can see is the different prices for the app. Okay, so you have the free plan, 12,500 characters. I already said that. One instant voice cloning. So you can only generate one clone. If you want to generate a new one, you need to delete the previous one. You have access to all of the voices and languages when they will be actually available. And you have to attribute Play HT whenever you will use these voices. Then you have a bunch of paid plans, the creator plan and the unlimited plan, which could be a good deal. Like this one, it might seem expensive, but you have unlimited characters. Okay, so if your plan is to use these pre-made voices that are actually really good and you have a bunch of content that you already know you will be able to monetize, well, this could be a good deal because it's $80 per month, but you have unlimited use. So if you are a YouTuber like us that monetize their content, this could be a time saver. Now, something else also that intrigues me is the high fidelity clone. The one I tried was just like the regular cloning. It's not great, but I mean, it could get there there. So I wonder what would happen if I would train the AI on much longer audio files that I have, and if I use the high fidelity model. I don't know, because I'm not going to pay this amount of money if it's not top notch. So maybe a good strategy for this company would be to give us a way to test the high fidelity clones. And if it's good, like, I guess a lot of people would pay for that. Like, I would pay for a high fidelity clone of my voice. So that's what I wanted to show you. Let's come back to Canva. It's still generating. I don't think we will get this for anytime soon. So I'm going to close this app and wrap up the tutorial right here. Let me know what you think, guys. I decided to not cut the fails of this tutorial so that you can see where we are in the state of playing with AI tools in Canva right now. It's not perfect. It has potential, but it's not perfect. The road is bumpy and you will run into some walls like I did today. But you can always find ways to try the tools. And I do think AI voice is a good tool. It's the best voice generator I've seen so far. It's just that it's busy. Maybe because it's victim of its success. Everybody wants to use it, to try it. So yeah, there you go. Let me know what you think of these three apps. Which one is your preferred one? Do you want me to try and create a dedicated tutorial about any of these three? Maybe TuneTank, maybe AI voice, and give it another shot? Let me know what you think. Before I go, I want to remind you that we have a brand new course, Canva for social media. It's available on Udemy. We have a link in the description of this video for you to try the course, preview its table of content. We have a couple of lectures that are left free to preview. And I'm going to leave you guys with our other episodes of hot new Canva apps. Right here, we have 2 more episodes with other apps that I already reviewed on the channel. So make sure you check them out.